let's go.
Yeah.
Boom.
Today, I'm a little bit nervous because we have here not only a very great developer, Scott Spence from London, right? London, right?
Yeah.
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 But he is also a great showman. We'll talk a little bit about his show and his path to development, and also React, JavaScript, Gatsby, JamStack. So let's get started. How are you, Scott?
I'm good, Francesco, and thanks for having me on. It's great to be here.
Yeah. So yeah, and your background looks very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. XSplit VCAM is what I'm going to say.
Yeah. So please tell us a little bit more about yourself, because I've seen you
Okay.
in your show, and
Yeah.
I'd love to know a little bit more about yourself. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're just going to spoil this for everyone, because this is actually the second take of this, because the first one.
No, it was way, it's faster to just do this again, so I can speak to you again.
This is that's my YouTube approach as well. I had to make videos, just one take it, and that's it. But yeah, so my dev story. I could say I'm a second career dev, but not really, because I've been like a developer in the sort of corporate space for about 10, 11 years prior to this. But it wasn't web development. It was like worksheet automation development. I did stuff with Excel, VBA, and like SQL Server and stuff like that. Made like automated reports and stuff for different parts of the banks I used to work for. So once everything started going to the browser, like Office and Excel, then I knew it was sort of time to move on and start learning web dev. And that's where I discovered the awesome world of web dev Twitter. And you, Francesco. So I
go. Yeah.
Carry on. I'm just about to say that I started learning web dev like mid 2016, and got my first job at the beginning of 2018. So just under 3 years now I've been a professional web developer.
Yeah. So this is great. So about Twitter, for example, are you using this a lot? Because I'm using this a lot in the last month. I've used this quite kind of a lot. So what about that? Are you active?
Yeah, I mean, Twitter is where it's at for, if you want to know the newest bit of technology or what's new in web development. Just go to Twitter and look at any thought leaders tweets, and you'll find the new hotness to be working with. Twitter's great for that. Twitter's great for knowing what's current, but it's also not a place where you should spend a great deal of time. So I try to limit.
I always say that the Twitter algorithm is a beast that wants to get fed every hour.
Yeah. So it's it's a, what's the word for it? It's a dangerous game you're playing with that. So, and I found recently that it eats up a lot of time, and I've been concentrating on other things as well.
And I'm trying to use this a little bit less by doing this sort of videos. So at least when I do this kind of videos, I'm not on Twitter. So
same.
It's
same.
For rehabilitation.
I've been doing the same sort of thing, getting a lot more comfortable with OBS and trying to make some YouTube content, but I'm not JFDI. Have you heard the term JFDI? I'm not going to swear, but it's just do it. So basically, it's very popularized by Joel Hooks, the guy who runs Egghead.io, and it just means just get stuff out there and ship and iterate, which I'm not doing any shipping, so I've got nothing to iterate on. So I need to be doing more of that.
Yeah, so in your biography, you have like advocate, champion, evangelist, and herald of JamStack. So let's
Yeah.
tell us everything about JamStack. I also love this kind of word that you used because
Yeah, I was just trying to find other things which didn't mean
yeah.
that sort of thing, and a lot of people just say like evangelist, and I don't think I put evangelist on there. Did I put evangelist on there? I haven't
Yeah,
checked,
yeah,
but I'm like,
because
I'll put all of them on there.
I wrote them down. I can't be wrong.
Okay, so I'm doing I'm going to be doing a conference talk at Friday next week at Scale at the Bay in San Francisco. So I hope I know what I'm talking about when I start talking about JamStack. So it's a talk I've done a couple of times now, and I'm more than happy to talk about it to anyone who wants to know. The Jam in JamStack is JavaScript, APIs, and markup. You don't necessarily need to have JavaScript, APIs, or markup well, you need to have markup. You don't necessarily need to have JavaScript or APIs to have a JamStack site. It's more focused around the sort of the architecture of it rather than the actual technologies used. So you can use React, you can use Vue, you can use Go,
Yeah.
you can use Ruby. As long as it's like statically, so pre-rendered markdown, and it's on a CDN somewhere, then that's sort of classed as JamStack. And it basically just gives you the performance, which is where it all matters these days. There's the BBC. I'm just trying to think of some stats. The BBC found that they had a 10% loss in users and sign up for each I don't know, half a second it took for their site to load. So it's an important thing, even though that stat wasn't directly related to JamStack. It's a performance related stat. So when you have something which is pre-rendered already, the amount of work the browser needs to do is greatly reduced. So that's going to help you with performance. And that's pretty much the talk. Statically hosted stuff will ultimately load faster than dynamic stuff because it's got a much shorter journey to make to the browser.
Yes.
So
So you're saying that it's more about architecture. So you can, I don't know really JamStack, so I could say something wrong, I think. But so you can switch. You can use just one part of them, not every one. It's like the mean stack or MERN stack. You can use a part of that stack. We usually when we talk about a stack, it means that stack works good when is used together, like for MERN.
So when you talk about MERN and mean stack, they are specific technologies, and so it's excuse me, it's Mongo, React, and Node,
and
something else.
What are we? Express.
So they're all specific technologies. With the JamStack, it's not specific. Like I said, you can use. And the thing is, JamStack isn't really new either. It's my first blog was a JamStack site. It was with Jekyll. You heard of Jekyll? It's like uses a templating language to pre-render your markdown into HTML files and then serves them up for you. So yeah, Jekyll. It runs on Ruby.
They have like a potion, like an icon.
Yes,
the icon is a potion. I use that. I use that.
So it's I mean, it's been around for forever since, well, when I say forever, it's for as long as I've been in web development, which is 4 years. So that's an eternity in web tech. So it's what I'm saying is it's not necessarily a new technology, JamStack. It's just like what's the word for it? A way of doing things. Paradigm shift. That's what I was trying to think of. Try to think of a word to make me sound intelligent. So it's just like a paradigm, shift in how you're sort of deploying the sites, really.
Nice. So Yeah, and I don't know if you have you ever done some public speaking about that. So because I
Yep.
see that you speak very well also in your show. We'll talk about this later. But have you ever experienced some public speaking? Because it's interesting for me because I started with doing this public speaking,
Yeah.
and I'd like to know if you have done something about that in the past or.
Yeah. So my the first I gave a conference talk in November 2018, and that was thanks to Jesse at GraphCMS. He
Mhm.
asked me last minute if I wanted to talk about Gatsby, and it was API Days London. So I had to sort of fit in how Gatsby used APIs. So I just spoke about GraphQL and how Gatsby uses the GraphQL layer in there, and that was great. And I didn't have much time, I don't think, to make the talk. But once I did that, I was like, this is fantastic. I want to do more of this. And then I started asking about, I did a couple of meetups after that. I did one MTM or MMT, I think it is, in January. And then COVID. And then everything I think has been remote since then. So I've been doing talks publicly like this. So I gave a talk at Mint Bean at the end of September. And that was all I knew about Markdown, which was quite random, but I wanted to do it as like a primer for building like a Gatsby site. And when I spoke to Ro, who spoke to it the other day, I believe, I asked her because she was saying, what should I do for my blog? And I said, well, you should own your content. And the best way to do that is to just build your own site. I mean, you can do it with services like Hashnode and Dev2, where you can export it all afterwards, or you can import it. But you know, if those platforms go away at any point, I'm not saying they will, but look what happened to Medium. You know, they just had a paywall put up overnight. So it's always good to own your content and own your platform, and that's why I said to her, you know, why don't we sort of build a blog together? And she was like, well, how about rather than we do it together, you do a workshop at Mint Bean where I am, and you know, teach you know, lots of other people, not just me. And I was like, yeah, that's great. So that's where me talking for an hour about Markdown came from, just as like a primer, so I could talk about Gatsby more, because I really like Gatsby as well.
Yeah, because there's written in your biography also Gatsby, and also I see here GraphQL. Have you used that in some special environments? Just experience it, because I've experienced this a little bit.
Yeah.
I've used it in production environment maybe just one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I've done one production deployment of, it was like we called it Pinstagram, so it's like a mix between Instagram and Pinterest, so you could sort of pin it if you liked it and add comments to stuff. There's just pictures and comments, and we decided to they asked me, could you do it and architect it, and I went, yeah, we'll have a GraphQL backend and we'll use Next.js on the front end.
No problem.
And we didn't need any of that. We could have just done a really simple site, but it was like my first, you know, opportunity to work with the technology. So I was like, yeah, I want to work with them. And it was like an internal project. So it's like, right, okay, we all get a chance to work with it as well. So it was a good learning experience for everyone. And that was with Prisma, and that was the like the database layer. Okay.
Yeah. Now I can hear you.
So that's pretty much it for me creating my own GraphQL server. Other times, other than that, I do it with Gatsby. So I do it with either the Gatsby internal file system, which is uses a GraphQL schema, or you know, bringing in external information into a Gatsby site, which you can bring in like a REST endpoint as into a GraphQL endpoint in Gatsby, which is quite good. So
Nice.
you have all your REST data, and you can bring it in and sort of query it like GraphQL, which I really like. So I'm a big fan of it. There's a bit of resistance with we'll say like the old school, but it has its place a lot of the time. But it is a good tool going forward, I think.
We'll see if GraphQL will replace REST. We still don't know. We will see in the future what will happen. I think it's worth to know at least how it works.
Yeah.
And then we'll see in
Absolutely.
the future. It depends. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's a different way to do something. It has some good advantages, but you need to maybe to work a little bit more, but you have some advantages, of course. Yeah.
It's great.
So, and and now the funny part, I'd like you to tell me about the Whiskey Wednesday show, because it's something that I've watched. I think sometimes because I was walking and while watching your. This was the Twitter event, of Whiskey Wednesday,
Yep.
the one with Kathleen Telmo. I don't know.
That's one of the most popular shows, podcast downloads. That is that one. It's by far the most popular one, because I think developer and Twitter are like two very hot topics in themselves.
And I wanted to be there, but I'm not there. I'll be there next time that you do a Whiskey Wednesday about Twitter. I want to be there, of course.
You can do it on Twitter. It was really popular, that one, but we'll have you on for DevOps, mate. Definitely have you on for DevOps.
Of course.
And you can, show me how to use Docker.
I can't say you no anymore, because you came two times today. So if you ask to me, I can't say you no. I must say yes to whatever you want.
It's the same. I mean, I'm guessing when you spoke to Mark, you had him.
Yeah, of course.
Agree to having you on the show as well. So you've got.
It would be also great to have other DevOps expert. I'll talk maybe with one tomorrow, a Docker captain. I'm not spoiling here now, but So if you want also to, if you need some people, maybe I can help you. I don't know. Yeah. Cool. So but I know that now Whiskey Wednesday is stopped nowadays. You need to start season 2.
Yeah, we've done season 1. We did 10 episodes, and I think Mark and I are just having a bit of a rest from it, and we're having a rest by making more content, which is I don't know. I think it's a good thing, because we sort of get to know how to do our own sort of things in different ways. Mark's doing the Tech Twitter Plays Chess, which is quite cool. I think it was great, and we need to sort of have a think about how we're going to work with the format of the show for the next season. I think we're going to change it up a bit. Maybe try to have it a bit shorter than 2 hours.
Also, Mark said this, but can you tell us, please, how it started? Because I love that one.
Yes. So the long story is I was at a Christmas party last year, no, the year before, and so 2019.
Yeah,
last year.
I don't know. Was 2019.
Yeah,
I'm stuck.
That's like the last proper year. We're going to skip this year, aren't we?
I'm stuck.
It's going to be.
Yeah. I'm stuck in March 2020.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
my calendar shows March.
At some Christmas party at some point in the past, someone asked me if I'd like to try a whiskey, and I was like, no, I'm not a big whiskey fan, thank you. And they said, this one's different. Try this one. And so I had a little sip, and I was like, wow, this is really nice. And then I proceeded to buy everyone else in the bar one. I was like, got to try this whiskey, it's really good. So after that, I decided to buy a bottle of whiskey and have it at home, which wasn't a great idea. Didn't last long, but I did take a picture of it and shared it on Twitter. And Mark saw it and he's like, "We need to have a, I'd like to join you for a drink of that at some point in the future." I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." This was just before COVID hit, actually, and then COVID happened, and he's like, "Well, let's just have, a Zoom call." And we did. I think we did 1 or 2 calls, like in private, just having a chat and hanging out. And then Mark was like, "Right, we're just going to go full on with this, and we're going to make it like a YouTube episode on a weekly basis," which we then sort of scaled back to every 2 weeks, because scheduling it became a bit tough because we were both really busy at the time. So scheduling was quite a thing, and I think we're just enjoying having a bit of time to ourselves now. I'm not saying that scheduling a 2-week show sort of consumed all of our time, but we're both quite busy, and it was great to do it, and it's awesome to meet all the people there. But we're just going to sort of have a bit of a break for it for a while, I think. But anyway, totally sort of on a tangent there from when you asked me on, how did the show come about? I posted a picture on Twitter. Mark said, "I like whiskey too," and then we started to do a YouTube show out of it.
Nice. But sometimes it happens that the good things that they happen like randomly. Also, this kind of videos, they start quite randomly. It was really planned. I don't know. I think when you put some people and then you let them speak, like we are doing now. Sometimes some things could happen because maybe there is someone which is interested into just watching this. So also I think it's similar in your case. You just started doing this in private. I also did some video calls and I didn't record them. So and then I just decided to just post one and then another one and then another one. Now it's like, I think, like 10 days that I'm posting every day. I don't know how much I last until I have to lapse. I don't know, but but for now I'm enjoying this, and I think that for now I'll keep going. Then I'll see. I'm still in the planning phase, so I've bought a new camera. Sorry for the first videos, please, because it was the MacBook Pro webcam integrated.
No, it's terrible.
It's not, which is not the best webcam in the world. But now, and now I'll see. But so I think that's it, Scott.
Okay.
It's been really great. So I hope to talk to you again. I love your style. Your style, your way of.
What style of shirts?
Yeah, I also love your t-shirt. Your t-shirt is so great. So
it's not Italian style. Sorry.
So
would I be stoned in public? Would I be shouted at in public in Italy if I wore this? Would they be like, get out the street? Can't be here wearing that. No, would they be doing this to me?
Yeah.
Going,
you know what? Now that you know what this means now.
I do know what it means.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Nice.
Would they be saying that to me? Why are you here? Why are you here?
What? Is what you want? Yeah. And you can use it without any copyright. Also, if you're not Italian, you can use that. So
Thank you.
I allow you.
What?
If you have any problem, any issue, I can allow you to do this. So thank you. It has been really funny. Also thank you to get me relaxed about this, because it has been really a pleasure to talk with you.
Okay.
So I hope to do this again one time. I don't know.
Me too.
We can. And I hope to. I wish you the best for your Whiskey Wednesday show. And the last thing, where can we find you? Which social do you use?
Twitter. Find me on Twitter.
Twitter.
Spencer Spence S10. Spence S10 on Twitter, Spence S10 on GitHub,
Mhm.
Spence S10 on Dev2, Spence S10 everywhere, or scottspence.com, and go to. I was just about to say go to contact, but I don't think I've got a contact page. So just scroll to the bottom, and all my links are at the bottom.
Yeah, I'll put some links then so people can find you. But I'm sure that they can find you. Yeah. So you want to say something else?
Just Google. Seriously, I was so proud of this. If you Google, make an MDX blog, I am the number one hit at the top, or I was.
This will be the first thing that I'll do when we close this call. Like,
Yeah.
I want to check this. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be build a Gatsby coding blog with MDX. Top hit.
Yeah.
I was very proud of that.
I'll check this. I don't trust you. I want to check. I want to check now. When we close this, I'll check this.
Okay,
Yeah.
brilliant.
Oh, thank you, Scott.
Okay.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Francesco.
Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.